probably should have cleaned the lens on this camera first. Hello, everyone. That's not gonna work. It's just a little, like, I don't know, smudgy or something. How's everybody doing today? Sorry. I'm gonna do a quick lens cleaning here with this camera, so it's gonna get weird. It's gonna get psychedelic. Everybody just hang in there. There we go. That's a little better anyway. All right, that's better. I think. I don't know. Is this the first live with the new phone? I think it is the first live with the new phone. Maybe. Hello, everybody. How are you guys all doing today? So I'm not 100% sure how long this live is gonna go. We're gonna shoot for an hour, but I'm kind of having I'm having an issue. So anyway, I thought I would show off some stuff that I've gotten somewhat recently here, and I'm actually probably gonna do a video on some of this stuff, especially as I get to customizing it and getting it where I want it to be. And then I'm also gonna try to get a video out this week for. Hey, what's up, Scott? What's up, Chris? What's up, Kyle? What's up, everybody? I'm also going to try to finally get a video out for the mocktail and the international trucks, and there's something else I was kind of anxious to get a video out for. So, gonna try to get all that knocked out this week if I can. I guess I don't know. Let's start. You guys know I'm in a polar mood. I mean, I'm kind of always in a polar mood if I'm honest, but I was able to pick up a couple Dean Fox built pullers. That's been a few weeks ago now, but this sweet Massey puller here, and then this cool Oliver puller. So those are going to go into the puller collection, and when we get a toy tractor show, a real going here on Dogtown down the road as the story progresses, we can have a polar day or something like that. So that'll be pretty cool, I think.
A car show. Now we have a tractor.
Yeah, we're gonna do a car show and a tractor show. Ooh. Yeah, Dogtown's it brings the community together is the whole point. And it's a way for me to show off all the crap I have. So, anyway, what do you guys, which one of these do you like better? You like the Mini Mo, or not the Mini Mo, gosh darn it, the Massey, or the Ollie here? I'm a little torn, but I think the Oliver might be my favorite out of that group, out of those two. So, like I said, I actually picked those up from Farm Toys, but Dean Fox built those, kind of maybe one of the premier polar builder guys out there, as far as 64th goes. And he's a super guy, too. I haven't got to talk to Dean for, gosh, I bet it's been a couple years, which is pretty unfortunate, really, because I always enjoy chatting with Dean. Try to get caught up here with any questions. You want to see that Oliver? I can get you closer up with that Oliver. I need to just do a video on it. That's what I need to do. But we can do a live and a video. What the heck? We'll do a video down the road on this thing. So yeah, so here's the Oliver. I'm still trying to figure out the kind of focal distance of this new phone that I'm using here for these lives. So please bear with me. But yeah, you can see, of course, he's got some bigger tires on the back, hung some nice weights with some Oliver decaling off to the side there. And of course, we've got a nice big chrome straight pipe. Right on the back, of course, you've got your wheelie bars and some more weights to keep that thing weighted down. Now, I don't know if he's added these work lights or if there's an Oliver out there that I don't know about in the 64 scale world that has those. I have a feeling he added those, but I could be wrong. Who knows? But yeah, pretty sweet build, I think. Pretty pretty nice little outfit. You can see he's done some detail painting as well there, up around the dash and all that. So cool tractor for sure. Oh, cool. I'm glad to hear that the quality is good. Yeah, I'm getting used to the Google Pixel. It's been, I don't know, it's been different, but I think as I kind of get used to it a little more, it's working out pretty good. So, and then of course here's the which you guys have seen the video for this, I'm sure. Here's the mini Mo puller that I built, and I had a ton of people ask me where I got the kit for that. That is J&S Customs. You know, no, I have no affiliation or anything like that with them. It's just that thought they had a cool kit and wanted one for myself, so I got one. You know, they're interested in sponsoring. Hit me up, guys. Anyway, the truck is a Hot Wheels truck that I stripped down and converted to make a cool puller out of, a pulling truck out of. I thought it made for a nice vintage pulling vehicle anyway. So you might have seen these combines floating around here and wondering what the heck that's all about. I was able to pick those up from my friend Colin at Farm Toys for You. Just got a couple projects for those in mind, so they'll get the kind of the full works. We'll do rails, lights, all that. Probably do a steerable rear end on those. This one has been lightly customized already from somebody, whoever had it before me. Kind of a homemade hopper extension there, and I actually kind of like it. It's different, and I'll probably just keep it on there like that, and then I'll just add, you know, what I need to add. Try to do a raisable feeder house, all that sort of thing. I'm hoping I can run across more kits for these feeder houses. If not, I may have to try to draw something, 3D print something myself. So if I have to end up doing it myself, that's certainly going to take increase the timeline for these to get finished. But because I've got too many other things on the list first, so there's that. I'm going to set these off to the side real quick as well. I'm in this weird spot right now where we have we've got like a month or so before our next show, so I actually have, it doesn't seem like I'm scrambling to build right now. Plus, we don't sell very many customs at that show. It's kind of a new in the box show, which is fine, but it just makes for interesting build times for me. So I'm kind of branching out, trying to do a couple things. I also picked these up from Colin over at Farm Toys for You, and of course these will all get the custom treatment. I don't know how far I'm going to go on customizing these. I mean, obviously wheel and tire swaps are in order. Maybe not the Panther. I actually just keep the Pink Panther the way it is. I do not have one of those in my collection, so probably just hang on to that guy and leave him, just put him on the shelf the way he is. But the others, I mean, they're certainly got potential here. This is the Cougar that we saw here, reasonably recent from Ertl. And then you've got the Turbo Tiger 2 and the Panther 2. Those Series 2 tractors are always kind of fun to work with, and I don't know, I could maybe play around with them a little bit and just kind of get something unique out of them. I think these always look really cool if you redo your exhaust and get some big chrome turnouts or something on there. So that's kind of, probably on the horizon for those. Do that, throw on some handrails, maybe some lights, things of that nature, just to dress those up some. It will be a fun project either way. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Steiger tractors, so. Anyway, let's see what else I can show you guys. I've got all sorts of kind of nifty stuff here. I printed my first guy in 54 scale. So he's about 6 feet tall, and he's just got his hands on his hips there. Kind of wanted a guy that kind of just looks like he's looking over something or inspecting something. So, if we got a tractor here, we can just have him hanging out looking at the tractor, something like that. So we'll see. May try to make some of these and sell. I don't know. There's plenty of other people doing that. I don't know that I necessarily need to get on that bandwagon too. At the same time, we could always use more men, people in the 164 scale world. So it might be worth taking a look at. I don't know. We'll see how time allows this fall. as we approach fall. I know that's weird. We're just now into August, but you know what? Fall's coming, guys. Really quick here. Where can you buy and how do you make combine flashers? So, where to buy is maybe a tricky subject. Maybe Moore's Farm Toys might be able to find something on Shapeways. Where to make them is definitely an easier subject. And maybe I will just do a separate video on that, maybe in the coming weeks, because pretty straightforward process, really. But I don't have all the tools and stuff right here in front of me necessarily to do that. So, but yeah, I would use straight pins for my flasher bars, and then I would cut little rectangle, squares out of. Well, I don't know. Let's see if we got anything here close. Um, I would just cut little rectangle squares out of styrene and paint those up as my actual flashers themselves. I think that's the best way to do it. In fact, let's take a look at this. Oh, I just popped a mirror off this guy. That's okay though. So this is kind of how this mirror was done, and I'll just take you and show you the best I can anyway. I got an automatic light that shut off here. So this is just a straight pin bent and a piece of styrene cut to look like a flasher. Now you can cut that any size you want. That's the really cool thing about that. And so you can make your flasher any shape, any size you want. Well, for example, like the back of this guy, you can see, I didn't build this tractor, but you can see those were made out of styrene rectangle, basically. So that's the best way, in my opinion, to make flashers for anything. And it's super easy and really inexpensive to do, and I think they look pretty good when they're done. Here's another example on my quad track here of a flasher bar. You can kind of see how that turned out. So the Oliver does come. Oh, okay, that was in that set. Yeah, that rings a bell now. That definitely rings. Just made your first tractor trade. Nice. Glad to hear it. Putting a bucket on a Steiger. Still need LSWs and have not finished my 2200 quad yet. I understand. My project list gets longer every day. Yeah, I'd be glad to do a video on that, Randy. I will kind of get that on my video list, and I'll see if I can't get something knocked out here pretty quick in the next week or so for you. That'd be great. Soft works really well too. That's a great point, Colin. I have used balsa wood as well in the past to make those. So yeah, that's also a good material to try anyway. But yeah, I'll see if I can do a video. That'd be great. Somebody commented on the DCP. So yeah, thanks. This is a little Tinder trailer I made up, obviously using our parts, and then DCP, that was a different color. I don't even remember what color that was when I got it, but I stripped it and painted it black because all the DCPs on Dogtown's fleet are black, or all the semis are black. So probably looking back, knowing now that maybe red's more of our color, I would probably have done all red semis, but there's no way I'm stripping all those off and going to red. So, but yeah, so this is and then I used these tie downs, just doing magic stretch cord. This is our generator. This is a Jeremy Richards JHR Customs Kim Tote. We do carry these at shows, but I don't sell those on our website. And then some of our toolboxes and our poly tank, and then this is our cone tank, and I have the actual cone part of this tank over on my other workbench right now. And then this is all red kynar, which is just a cord you can get to run. And I use red, although I was looking at our trailer. I was looking at pictures of our Tinder trailer the other day, and our hoses are yellow, so I wish I kind of would went yellow on that. But the red looks cool too, so I'm not going to complain too much. Need to start working on it. Worried that school's going to take up too much time. So obviously school's more important, but yeah, I would suggest getting an early start on building for Lafayette. It will come up on you way quicker than you think. And I can tell you from experience, you're never prepared it doesn't matter how much you build. Like I've taken, gobs and gobs and gobs of stuff to Lafayette and thought, okay, I've got a really great selection here, really great whatever. And then it's like, oh, somebody will come in like, oh, did you bring any of your, whatever? And I'm like, well, I didn't. So, um, absolutely, if you're going to a show, and I know you guys are going to head to Lafayette, which is awesome. I'm excited that you guys are doing that. Um, I highly recommend, anytime you're in the mood and have the free time to just build, because the worst case scenario is you take too much, and that's a good thing to have too much versus not enough. So when you're going to a toy show, we what was it, 2 years ago? We almost sold out at Lafayette. It was absolutely bonkers, um, which I'm very thankful for, but it was a real wake up call for me. In that now, knowing you can never have too much stuff with you. I'm trying to build as well, um, for Lafayette already. That sounds crazy, but um, I know I've got some shows in front of that, but those shows maybe aren't as heavy custom shows as Lafayette is. So I'm my long focus currently is on Lafayette. So kind of always have my eye out there for that show, knowing that it's pretty much always less than 365 days away. So yeah, the Richmond, Indiana show surprised us as far as custom sales as well. Um, so I've got that ahead of Lafayette. That is New Year's weekend, and so it's definitely something I've got to be loaded up and ready to go for. I'm somewhat confident I will be, but we'll find out, I guess. But I agree with you. School, 100% more important. Don't let building for Lafayette get in the way of your school stuff. Schools takes precedent, and you build. I've seen you build reasonably quick, and you build really good stuff. So quality over quantity, I think, is super important. And just if you're going to a show, this is for everybody. If you're going to a show, um, just keep your financials in mind. The show's going to cost you X amount of dollars. You need to try and sell X plus whatever profit you want to take home that day. And and the first couple times you go to a show, don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen, because it trust me, literally everybody in this hobby that sells at a show has a clunker every once in a while. It's just guaranteed. So how do you like build your buildings, especially shops? Well, that's a pretty good question, actually. So that's well timed, my friend. That's really well timed. So let's just do this. We're unveil something here. So this is, and I want you to keep in mind, this is prototype. Here we go. So this is our new modular shed. Now these are not going to be available for prime time, I would say, for a good 3 or 4 months yet. Like I'm really shooting for, like, let's call it the Christmas season. And that's just the way it is, bringing a new product to the table. Literally what I just did, set a new product on the table. So when I say a modular shed, this is what modular shed. So here is an extra panel that you can get for this shed. And basically you can make this shed any length you want. These are 20-foot sections. So currently this is a 40 by, almost 40 shed. And they just snap in and out of place. And I'll show you real quick. Like I said, this is a prototype, so bear with me here a little bit. Here we go. That worked perfect. So you've got 2 pegs on one side, and you've got 2 holes on the other side. And you just slide it into place. Now, this ended up, but again, I told you this is a working prototype, so we got to get that. So we're gonna do this. So the first batch of these is actually going to go to our friends at Windy Hill Farm Toys. They've ordered quite a few of these already. Yeah, and they were kind of the inspiration for it. So they get kind of the first run of these, and then we'll do some ourselves, and to our friends the Angattis and any of our other wholesalers that end up wanting these. but like I said, I'm hoping by Christmas that we have enough of these stocked up that we can get them out to you. Now, I did make a change. We decided after talking to people to fill in that back door, so it's not going to be completely drive-through. So the back panel is actually going to be something similar to this. So here you can see the snap-ins and that. So you'll get a front, you'll get a back, and you'll get your. I don't. This is this. Yeah. So this will be like your starter kit, and then you can buy extra panels. So right now we're going to do white and red, and then we may branch out into other colors if these are popular enough. But basically what we've come across is we've had so many people want sheds and shops and things of that nature, but the Ertl ones are getting hard to find. Custom ones are super expensive, and then it's a matter of figuring out what size everybody wants. So it's tricky. So this is kind of what we've come up with and talking with our friends over at Windy Hill. And I think this is going to work really good. Hope you guys like it anyway. Like I said, I think it's cool. I'm going to be excited about it. You can fit big implements through the door. I designed the door so that, big stuff can go through that. Now, it's going to come down to you detailing this out. Obviously, we have parts, workbenches, we have toolboxes, things of that nature, shop detail parts, and all of that. So detailing it out is going to come down to you. If you want to kind of make this a little more, I don't know, nicer, realistic, you could always run balsa wood studs through here, things like that. But our intent is to give you a nice base shed for you to start going to town on and doing that. Now down the road, if this shed is successful, we'll do different widths as well. But we're gonna have to start with this side just because we've already got a pretty insane amount of time and money into getting this figured out. And so hopefully, like I said, down the road, we can expand to other sizes. But there was kind of a lot of people inquired about us trying to do something like this, and so here we are. We've hopefully got it figured out. So. Oh, a semester long engineering. Ooh, that sounds fun and tricky both. You Hoosiers do love your farm toys. And I love coming over there to Indiana. I love farm toy shows in Indiana. They are yeah, they're our best shows by far. And I don't know, I don't want to say livelier than Illinois shows, but I don't know. They're fun. I mean, it's just the people over in Indiana are just spectacular. They're awesome. I love talking to them. So yeah, okay. Let's see. So that's gonna take up some time. Yeah, that'll definitely take up some of your time there, Kyle. Do you have some sort of website? I do. fortheloveoftractors.com. Bear with me for a week or so here if you do order off of it. Without getting into it too much, I've had a couple stints in the hospital and I'm trying to get caught up. So, but yeah, absolutely. fortheloveoftractors.com. And you can always send me an email, fortheloveoftractors@gmail.com. If you're looking for something I don't have listed, there's a chance I've got it, or I can point you in the right directions to someone who you can get it from. So we're gonna need one of those sheds. Looks great. So yeah. So that was my thinking, was something similar to the old Ertl model that you could easily customize if you want. So absolutely, Scott. We'll get you a shed. Let me know if you need a certain color or combination or anything. We can probably work something up for you there. Any idea about the retail cost for the buildings? So no is the answer. Yeah, we're shooting for it's. So we're gonna we've got to talk with the dealers that are gonna want these and see where we're gonna be at. But we're hoping like full blown retail is like in the 40 to 60 range, and hopefully closer to the 40 range is really what we're shooting for. And that will be kind of your starter kit and maybe an expansion set of panels or something, so you can make it a little bigger. We're gonna be finalizing that probably within the next couple weeks. So because we're gonna go into full blown production mode on these, I don't know, in August at some point. So yeah, this is a huge sprayer, and so that's one of the reasons I designed this so that something as big as that big sprayer could fit in there for everybody. So just curious, how much filament do you use? We go through a lot. I don't know. We have spools and spools and spools of filament in our little backup drawer, ready to switch out. But yeah, we use a lot of filament. One of these sheds, I don't think uses quite a full spool, if I remember correctly. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so we use, here, I'll just show you guys the size of the spool filament. Some of you guys may have never even seen filament if you're not into 3D printing. That's only okay. Grab that. So this is what a spool of filament looks like before you run it through your printer. So we get these bigger ones. I think there's even a bigger size, but they're a little harder to get a hold of. But anyway, so they come in the nice sealed plastic so that you're not getting humidity in on your filament, because all that sort of thing can affect print quality. And of course, we're trying to make that as nice as possible. The door dimensions, this is a 35-foot wide, and I'm kind of blanking out on how tall it is off the top of my head, but I know I did like a 35-foot wide. That way I could fit a 35-foot header through there, just barely. Yes, the doors are tall enough. Let's see, this guy. Yeah. So, here, let me go this way with it. So you can see it a little better. This guy has a bit taller tires, but you can see he will fit. He's super tight, but he will fit in there. That was kind of one of the things I wanted to make sure is we can put in combines, and especially a combine if you've got a tippy top on it like this guy. I just wanted to make sure he would fit. So, like I said, it's close clearance, but that's pretty realistic, really. I mean, we've only got about 2 inches of clearance on our combine door out at the farm, so. All right, sorry, I had to get a sip of water there, guys. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to a little bit here lately. I do have one of these cool new B&B grain trucks here. I did a video on this, and I needed to re-record it. So I'm hoping this week to finally do this. I'm sure Brian's thinking, where the heck is the video on that truck? But anyway, cool little outfit there from B&B Farm Toys and SpecCast. I'm excited to have my hands on. And if you guys saw us at the Metropolis show, we had these in stock, so they're pretty neat. Yeah. I'm excited to maybe do a little custom work on one of those. I haven't quite decided exactly what I want to do to one yet, but they've got potential. How about that? Found out your kid needs to move out so you can make a model farm. That's what I'm talking about. Get him working, get his own place so you can start doing some model farming. Tried to use your 3D printer, but it hasn't been reading the SD card. Have you tried reformatting your SD card? I had to do that one time on mine. I took it to my computer, and there's, like you right-click somehow and you can reformat it. I've had to do that before, so just might be something worth a try. That may not fix your problem, but it's probably worth a try. Somebody asked earlier what my fall schedule looks like. So, busy. We've got a show the weekend after Labor Day. It is the Quincy, Illinois FFA show. It's at the Quincy High School Gymnasium. Neat show. It's a small show, but it's fun. A lot of great dealers there. We're going to have a blast. I know that. And then, let's see. After that, we kind of take off from shows because farming starts. So we pretty much take harvest off. We try not to schedule anything during the fall of the year, just because, that's just a crazy busy time. If you guys, any of you guys are around farms, you know what that's like. So we'll take off pretty much all of late September, October, and most of November. And then we have 2 shows in November?
Yeah, we got Brian Berry and we got Dubuque.
Oh. Okay, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, okay. I guess we pick back up with Dubuque ones in Dyersville. They're incredible. It's the best farm toy weekend of the year, probably. Highly recommended if you guys can come up. There's no reason you can't hit both shows. They're 20 miles apart. Chances are, if you're staying tonight, you're staying in Dubuque anyway. So, gosh, we had so much fun that weekend last year. So, anyway, that and then yeah, we have. I did remember the Bloomington show. We do have the Bloomington show Thanksgiving weekend, Central Illinois show in Bloomington, Illinois, out by the airport there. That's always fun. Yeah, then after that is Janesville, Wisconsin. That's early December. Weather permitting, as long as the weather's not terrible, we'll be there. Um, and then we kind of reset with Richmond in the first part of the year, New Year's weekend there. So then it kind of just starts all over. As far as building, my schedule is I've got a 16 scale project for a guy I got to get finished. It's a repowered John Deere. And then I'm trying to get some Rabba Steigers finished up for the big shows that are coming up. I'm not too worried about having anything like that for Quincy, but certainly for national, I've got to have some of those done. So I've really kind of got to be building for that pretty quick here, because you got to figure we're 6 weeks away from harvest probably. So things are going to get a little busy. And then I have some international. I've never done so much 16 scale customizing in my entire life, but all of a sudden I've got quite a list. I've got some international 6 series, so 706, 806, etc. projects I've got to get done. As far as what I'm working on, do I know of any shows near the Dells and Baraboo? There are. I don't know there are shows in that area for sure. I don't know off the top of my head the dates of those. If you check out toyfarmer.com, I know there's that. I know there's. What am I trying to say? I know they have a list there, but they're only about 3 months in advance. You might get a hold of Josh at the 164 scale store, because he is in Wisconsin and he hits a lot of those shows. So you might get a hold of him and he can tell you what's up in that area too. So just throwing that out there for you. But yeah, so as far as 164 scale projects, I've got a 6, 7, and 8 bottom plow project I'm working on that I hope to have soon. In fact, I hope to debut those at the Quincy FFA show. Plows are always popular. I just can't seem to build fast enough. So with the help of a buddy of mine, I've kind of got some stuff together, and hopefully can have some plows soon. Let's see. I just did a Landau 1200 that I hope to have done pretty quick, and then a heavy offset disc I hope to have done pretty quick. Those are kind of the next 3 public releases in 164th for me. I think there's some parts and things like that I'll have, but at least for the rest of this year, those won't be available to the public because they have to go to projects that are going to be at national. So and a lot of times the way guys do things, if I'm building something for national that's going on a display, they don't want anyone else to have it until after that. So, and I totally understand that, and that's fine. I never have any trouble. I never have any problems holding off on something like that. So there'll be some neat, there'll be some neat projects, including a couple pretty cool tractors for national, and hopefully. After that, I can have some available to you all. So sad won't be able to make it to Bloomington this year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, ski trip ought to be fun, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. You know me. If I got a choice between a farm show and a ski trip, I'm taking the farm show every time. Would you ever consider getting into model railroading? Absolutely, I would. It's a space issue for sure with me, and a time issue, if I'm honest. But yeah, I would love to do some F-scale model railroading and have it tie in with the model farm, actually. Kind of a I don't know, a dream of mine, I guess, would be to model sort of just a not necessarily a prototype for most of the farm, but or for most of the model, but to have a layout. But then I would like to model a prototype of the Burlington Junction Railroad in Quincy, Illinois, because it serves a bunch of agricultural related businesses. So like ADM, Prince Minerals, um, just there's several other. I can't think Philbro and a bunch of ag related businesses that they're the Burlington Junction railroad services. And so like a dream of mine someday down the road, may never happen, would be to model that spur and then kind of be able to incorporate all the farm stuff into it as well. So, like I said, we'll see how that turns out. So we've been talking about Lafayette and toys and customs and all that. I'm sure my buddy Kyle is going to have some of these awesome Bobcats for sale at Lafayette. Some of my absolute that's one of my absolute favorite toys I've ever kits I've ever put together right there. That thing will always be on Dogtown somewhere. I guarantee it because it's just super cool. It's perfect for what I want it for. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, a feed meal scene and a roadside. Yeah, I agree. That would be super cool. I would love that. Like I said, someday. And one thing I learned because I don't know much about S scale model railroading. I've kind of watched a lot of HO guys, but as far as S scale goes, um, I don't know much about them. And it turns out they haven't made any engines for those for decades, which is pretty sad, really. Because I'd probably love to do like a new Burlington Northern or something like that is probably the line I would model, or maybe Norfolk Southern. I don't know, but yeah, but not having any modern engines for that's kind of disappointing. Unless I could figure out a way to make them myself, I guess. Dogtown's doing great. Slowly, kind of getting progress on it to the point where hopefully I'm ready to do another update video on it rather soon. No guarantees, but just been trying to slowly add details. It's been hard to go and get a lot done lately with other things that I've had going on, but I've been steadily making parts for it and details for it. So then it's kind of a matter of getting them where I need them or want them. So I'm getting there. Do you have an 8950 Prestige tractor and a 164 scale? Not handy, I don't. I do have one in my collection, but I do not have one handy. Sorry about that. Yeah, I should have some of the S70s and some of the T66s. Yeah, I got to get a T66 from you at Lafayette for sure, if not sooner. Excited about those. They look awesome. Yeah, Kyle Punky Kane's animation. Check out his channel. Absolutely killing it with the construction and Bobcat stuff, and just doing awesome work. I'm excited. Hopefully, outside of Lafayette, I try not to sell uh, people's stuff that I get from them, or I try not to sell the same things as my friends at toy shows. So, like at Lafayette, I probably won't sell any Bobcat kits. I'll just send everybody down to Kyle. But I really hope to carry more of Kyle's products in the not too distant future at shows because he does some really cool stuff. I do N-scale model railroading. Hate to say it, but I've never seen S-scale trains in any trains. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of with that. But yeah, N-scale looks cool. Like if I were gonna start over, like okay, I woke up tomorrow and I literally had nothing, and started my life with a blank slate. I would probably do N-scale. It seems pretty accessible. Obviously, it doesn't take up a huge amount of space. I think it's a really cool scale to work with. So it seems like there's a lot of stuff out there for it too. And then of course with 3D printing, you can make anything you want. So it's really cool. Will you be attending the National? I will be at Dubuque, set up at Dubuque at the fairgrounds for that weekend. We'll be selling there because there's a huge waiting list to get into National. But I will certainly be in attendance at National, checking it out, having a good time, talking to everybody. So if you see me either at Dubuque or National, please stop and say hi. I love to chat with everybody. So preferred method for repainting something like a Deere 9600. So are we talking? Yeah. So preferred method, if you can, and I understand that this isn't possible for everybody, would be to sandblast the old paint off and start new. And then I would hit it with a nice self-etching primer, and then I'd go right over the top of that with my John Deere green paint, and then I'd put my decals on and I would clear coat it. That's how I prefer to kind of restore an older combine tractor, whatever it is. Um, so that means you're gonna have to take it apart. But the great thing about those is they just screw apart. And I wish I had a 9600 here. I'd show you. I can probably take a 9600 apart in less than 5 minutes, I would imagine. Um, they come apart very easily. So I highly recommend trying that if you're interested in doing that, because it's a fun project and it'll be really satisfying when you get it done. The really cool thing about restoring a tractor is if it doesn't turn out like you like, you just do it again. It's no big deal. Now, if sandblasting is not available to you, and I understand it's definitely not, you can use citrus strip, which you can find at pretty much any hardware store, Farm and Home, Orchland's, Tractor Supply, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, wherever. Any place where you can get sort of like paint materials. I use citrus strip because it doesn't have the terrible odor that like turpentine or whatever the other big strippers are. So I highly recommend that. What you're going to need is you're going to need a container of some sorts. Prefer not plastic because that's going to eat through it eventually. But you can get like here, I'll show you, like a cooking pan or something along those lines. And these are just like mini ones. These little aluminum tray thingies, you can get these everywhere. And they're, they cost you pennies. They don't cost much at all. Anyway, you can, you put your combine in there or your tractor, whatever you're doing, pour your citrus strip on top of it in there, let it sit for whatever end of the time is on that. I'm just bringing a tractor out just so you guys got something to look at. And then you can take either kind of a wire brush or even just a paintbrush. And once that citrus strip has kind of worked and done its thing, you can just start brushing off your paint. And it'll come off pretty easy. And if it doesn't, just let it sit longer. Put a little bit more on it and let it sit longer. Use rubber gloves. I mean, you don't want to get that stuff all over you. It's not good. And do it, if you can, do it outside or in your garage. Because even though the citrus strip is not as harmful as, say, some of the others to breathe in, you still don't want to breathe a bunch of that stuff in. It's just not good for you long term. So, but yeah, it's actually really easier. Once you've done it a time or two, you're gonna be like, oh wow, yeah, I could do this for anything I want. And so, one of the keys, your plastic stuff that you don't want, your windows, the cab top, the things that are plastic, you can't strip those. So make sure those are not on your model when you go to do that. But all the metal parts, all the die cast parts, you can strip those easily. So. Yeah, that's a great question, by the way. HO is the best. I do HO with vehicles in 60. Okay, that's cool. I mean, I love HO. I love a good HO scale railroad. I mean, I have got certainly nothing against it. And the HO guys are incredible. I mean, that's the layouts that I've seen online in particular. I mean, holy cow! YouTube, you can just get lost for days watching videos of these incredible HO scale layouts. And so, yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. This is a SpecCast grain truck, if that's the one you're talking about. This is brand new from B&B Farm Toys and SpecCast. Just came out earlier this month. You can see it dumps. The opening back here I think it does open and close. I just said that. Yep, it does. The tailgate little opening hole opens and closes back here. What I love about this actually is the dump stays up, because there's a lot of dump trucks in the farm tow where the dump will not stay up. But it does. Oh, what's up, Bo? How are you doing, man? Hope everything's going great for you. It's got the mirrors on it. You've got wipers. You got some detail painting. I think they did a nice job. There's some criticisms of this truck for sure, but for the $30 this truck cost, I'm not gonna be the guy that does it too much, to be honest with you. I've heard the hood's too long. I've heard the fuel cans are too skinny, and fuel tanks are too skinny. They're just there's some things that aren't perfect, but gosh, in general, for $30, this is a nice truck, I think. Oh yeah, no need to apologize. Trust me, I get it wrong all the time. I think yeah, but yeah, this is the SpecCast one. I mean, First Gear obviously does awesome stuff too. Those First Gear trucks though, they're like 60, $70. They're a little bit harder pill to swallow. Do you have any custom nitrogen bars? Working on it actually. In fact, our buddy Chris Buchanan in the chat here is getting a Nitro Max kit from me, so we'll see how that turns out when he gets a chance to build that out. Maybe a little bit. We're sending that out to him this week, and then I'm working on a DMI bar. So we're talking like it could be a 14 to a 19 knife depending on how it's configured. Um, so I'll have that hopefully pretty quick. I think I'm probably ready to start test printing that within a week, I would say. It sure seems like I've got everything ready to go anyway. For spray tender lines. Yeah, so let me just grab something here and show you. So this is called Kynar. It's an almost any color you want. And I use, and I apologize, I don't have my glasses. I think it's 28 gauge, but okay. My glasses are being delivered. Thank you. Now I can tell you what it is. It is 28 gauge. Yeah, so I use 28 gauge Kynar, and it's really nice because it's flexible. I wonder if I got one of these open. So opposite of that. Oh, well, there we go. Got it. It's flexible so that you can move it and pose it, but you can also kind of take your pliers or even your fingers and you can make it stay in the shape you want. And so that's what's really great about it. And then, of course, you just cut it to the length you want. And like I said, you can get this in white, black, red, green, yellow, blue, all sorts of colors. And you can find it online is the best place. You can find it in stores sometimes, but finding the gauge you want in person has been really tricky for me. So I just usually go online and find some 28 gauge, and that's what I use. Put me down for one of those. All right, we'll do. Yeah, so I agree. This is probably the least pleasant of the colors, but there's white, there's red, there's black, and then there's some two-tone colors as well. So there's like 6 different colors to choose from on these trucks. I think they're pretty nice. I don't know for sure what we're going to be asking for those DMI bars, but I'm hoping to keep them under $50 is my goal. And then if I detail it out and run the lines and all that stuff, obviously we'll have to be a little bit more. But I plan to do them without the lines, and then if somebody wants lines, I'll do it for them. But just hoping to keep it reasonable so that everybody that wants one can get one. Yeah, well, I mean, this this is going to go on Dogtown because, well, it's almost Steiger Green, right? So that's why we're leaving that. I'm going to put a Dogtown Farms logo on it or something, just to have a little fun. I'm going to try to come up with a tarp for it, maybe if I can make a tarp kit or something. I don't know. We'll see. But obviously I like it, but I'm different. Yeah, I think these trucks will be excellent customs to work with. There's a lot of potential here. So You could run a drive line up in here if you really want to get crazy on the bottom. Obviously, maybe a hydraulic tank on the side. And a simple antenna would make this thing, like a CB antenna or something, would really dress this thing up a bunch, I think. If you wanted to make tarp bows in a tarp kit, I think that'd look pretty cool too. Um, Outside of that, yeah, weathering it up to make it look old would be awesome. I think there's probably some other things that you could certainly do. Maybe even most of these that I see have a chrome bumper, but this has the black bumper. So maybe even something as simple as that would be a nice little change. And then coming around the backside, I noticed it has like rivets and stuff, so there's some nice detail, but there are really no brake lights back here. And so maybe just adding a simple styrene strip with some dots of paint marker to make some brake lights would be pretty cool. I would love to see a weathered Ford L9000 dump truck. That would be cool. The L9000s, I'm not sure what the future holds with those, to be honest with you. We got those from Top Shelf, and I don't know. I just don't know what the future of the L9000 was. That whole thing was a weird deal that I don't know all the particulars on, so I'm not gonna speak on it, but it was different for sure. Favorite '60s Ford tractor. Ooh, that's a tough question, Eli. That's a real tough question. Let's see. When was the Golden Jubilee? That was like an 80. That was a 59, wasn't it? Or was that a 54? So we're talking after the Golden Jubilee. I was like those. I thought they were super cool. What was the 6000? Would that might be in the neighborhood there. '54, yeah, that sounds right for the Golden Jubilee. Yeah, so we're definitely talking after the Golden Jubilee. I don't know why I've just always had a thing for the Golden Jubilee. You have a Jubilee, very nice. Like I said, just always had a thing for those. I don't know, thought they were cool. Yeah, 6000 is 60, so probably a 6000 series. I always liked those. I thought they looked pretty cool. Oh, Matt, you drive for Smith Transportation. Awesome, cool stuff. Well, and I see my wife has put up the 10-minute warning sign. That was 2 minutes ago. So, um, any other great questions? It's been good, guys. Do I have a favorite pickup truck? Great question. Um, so I would think it would be a Ram of some sorts. Now if we're talking toys, I should have really good toy pickup trucks. But maybe my favorite is this one that my buddy Scott and his son built for me, just because somebody built it for me. Somebody was thinking about me and built me a really awesome custom pickup truck. So that's probably number one in the collection. Other than that, could be the old black Chevy, which you guys have seen the video on, I'm sure. Oh, I know where I put that. I'm trying to organize stuff, believe it or not, and so I actually got a bunch of drawers for my trucks and all that sort of thing. So finding them is sometimes a little tricky. Or it could be on Dogtown Farms, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I bet that's where it's at. Good job, Jason. Not knowing where all your stuff's at. Don't mind me, just squeezing around the background here. Well, this makes for good live TV. Just wandering around the background of the videos, just trying to find stuff, and I have no idea where it is. Ah, well, it'll turn up one of these days. I know it's here somewhere. Do they make any old Lodestar pickup trucks? Boy, not that I'm aware of. I mean, somebody can maybe correct me on that. I do believe there's a Lodestar or two out there, but gosh, yeah, I'm not particularly familiar with where they are or who made them. They have some on Shapeways. There you go. Combine lineup for Dogtown. Well, let's just pull those out. We got them sitting right here. A little dusty. So we're gonna run 78, and we're gonna run a 9240, and then the 9240 is gonna run a Drago head, and that guy is right over here. Nope, no, he's not. No, he won't. Oh, it's probably in the drawer of the rest of it. That's probably where he's at. Oh, I see it. I knew I had it somewhere. He's going to run the Drago head. It's a little dusty. And then our cutting platform will be MacDon's. So you can kind of see that. And then the smaller combine is going to run a Geringhoff head, a Geringhoff foldable head. And it will also run a MacDon. The Geringhoff foldable head is, I've got one, but it's kind of under construction. It's been one of those things that I've tweaked on about 200 times and I'm still not happy with. At some point, you just got to call well enough alone. But yeah, so this will be what Dogtown runs this fall. What's my favorite Steiger tractor? It's got to be a KP 1400, I would say. I would love to see some 90s Ford and Dodge trucks. That would be incredible. Fleet Star. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Can we get a peek in the shop? Absolutely, guys. Yeah. Can you see the shed? Or like, yeah, let me kind of do a little rearranging. And yeah, well, I'll get you a peek into the shop. It's a little dirty, but that's to be expected. And we'll take a look at the shed, the modular shed that we're working on. Just going to go ahead and put these in. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put the headers in here too. The headers need a little cleanup, but that's okay. So let's take a peek into the Dogtown Ag shop real quick. It's starting to get some details. I've still got working on my metal shop area and the tools for that, including this brake press here. But I've got some others to work on before. So you got to keep in mind that a good 3/4 of the shop is not detailed yet. No Lexion. I was going to run the Lexion. I really considered it, but for right now, no Lexion. So here's kind of our spray tender area. You can kind of do work on semi trucks and things like that. You kind of got the semi door here. Woo, there we go. And then we've kind of got another small area for semi door, seed tenders, fuel, fertilizer tenders, things of that nature is kind of going to be what's all on this end of the shop. Then we're going to kind of get over to the heavy hitter area. We see we got the big Blue Jet and Hydrus bar parked in there right now. And then the combines and a couple big pieces of iron. Those four-wheel drives, the yellow four-wheel drive will not be on Dogtown. The Steiger may make it to Dogtown. We'll see. That's got LSWs from Precision Engineered Replicas. And I got to detail that out before I go any farther with it. And then the whole parts area up here, I've got to get organized yet. But I want to do, that parts area lifts out And so I want to get the metal shop, which is going to be up under that loft. I want to get it completed before I start getting my part shelves together. So that's that so far. At least how it stands right this minute. Obviously subject to change because you just never know. And obviously everything's a giant mess over here because, well, it always is. But we're getting close to getting to where everything's going to be cleaned up and where it needs to be. Now here is the shed that I showed off earlier. So again, appreciate the interest on this, guys. So it's a modular shed kit. The idea is you can add panels and make this any size you want. Any length you want. Like I said, for the first bit, this will be available through Windy Hill Farm Toys. Hoping to get some of those to them very soon. We'll see how things go. But, and then hopefully by the Christmas season, I'm really hoping by like the Bloomington show, we have enough of these that we can take them to shows and sell them as well to folks who want them. So obviously you can make a shop out of it. You can make a shed out of it. I hope it's, to me, I think it's neat. I probably am going to find a place to put one somewhere here on the display. And I will detail it out. I'll do studs and all that sort of stuff. And we'll probably have one that we'll take with us to shows and showcase our shop items in it. So that way people can kind of look in and say, oh, they have a, an air compressor or a press or something like that. The press will be sitting in there somewhere. So we'll see how that works, but that's kind of the goal with that. So. Oh yeah, thanks, Chris. I am a big fan of that Challenger. I think it turned out nice. Of course, the hood opens up on it, all that sort of stuff. I'm proud of that build for sure. Just turned out pretty cool. Yeah, the 9th gen F-150s that Greenlight did, I agree. They're like lowriders. It's kind of weird. Where do I get those seed boxes? Those come from JHR Customs. Look them up. Jeremy Richards. Look, he prints those. Oh, that's all right, Chase. It takes time. You'll get there. Will you be at Dyersville? I'll be at Dubuque the same weekend as Dyersville, 20 minutes apart. I mean, I'll certainly be at Dyersville walking around, but we'll be set up selling at Dubuque. Running Kinsey's again for grain carts. Yeah, so this year we're gonna run Kinsey's, and I'm kicking around an upgrade in the future. But yeah, for this year we're gonna run Kinsey's for this harvest for sure. I think I'll have to get two, one for shop and one for shed. That'd be fantastic. I really hope that these will work out great for people. I think they will. And like I said, you can kind of customize it any way you want. And they're plastic, so you can paint them any way you want. If you don't like, the colors that we have, it's no big deal to paint over those. So yeah, I hope they work out great. I'm excited about them. Like I said, I'm going to try to find a place to use one myself because I think they've got potential. I'm really loving the way they're turning out. So. Oh, the super easy to put studs in. So get some balsa wood from Hobby Lobby or wherever, Michael's, any of those hobby stores have it. Essentially, you're just going to cut it to length, and you can cut balsa wood pretty quick. You could have this shed studded out, I'll bet, in less than 10 minutes. In fact, maybe I ought to do that sometime on a live.
Yeah, because we're going to do one anyway.
Yeah.
So we can do it for
Yeah.
our example one.
Yeah. We should do that. Yeah. So maybe in a future live, I'll just stud one of these out for you guys. Show you how it's done, how easy it's to do. And balsa wood is super cheap. I mean, I'm betting you can. I bet less than $5 you can stud this thing out, if not cheaper than that. So, and that's really going to add to the dimension. I had considered drawing the studs and 3D printing those in there, but then that makes painting a whole different problem. And so I decided for simplicity's sake because I want everybody from like super advanced, if they want one, all the way down to the 5-year-old kid building his first carpet display. I kind of want everybody to be able to use these how they want, take advantage of them, all that stuff. So. Yeah, you're right. $2 is a lot of balsa wood. So yeah, honestly, probably a couple bucks is what it would take to part one or to stud one of these out. It's silly cheap. Balsa wood's just insanely cheap. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll like I said, I'll try to do one of these live sometime, or maybe just make a video of it. Like I said, I bet I could start from scratch and stud one of these out in 10 minutes. I bet. That might be pushing it. It may be a 5 minute project. It just depends on how much I talk. So, all right, guys, I got to get going. We got some other stuff to do. We got to go to school and do some work tonight. So, it's unfortunately getting that time of year, and my wife is getting her schoolroom ready. So, anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Um, it's just always a pleasure. I love doing this with you guys. Love talking to you guys out at the shows. Hope to see you guys out at the shows real soon. All right. And like I said, always feel free to check us out. For the Love of Tractors, and shoot me an email at fortheloveoftractors@gmail.com if you got any questions. Can we put a door in it? We're working on it. That's the answer to that. We're working on it. So the idea, I'll show you real quick, right before just before I get off here. So what I'm working on is a modular system that will like either snap into place, or you may have to glue it into place. I don't know yet. But then you'll be able to slide your door in and out. Is what I'm hoping. Working on that right now. I am not an engineer, so things like that take me a lot longer than probably your average person. So but I'm getting there, and I think when it's all said and done, yeah, we will be able to put a door in it. So, all right, farming equipment is a lot harder to customize than doing DC trucks, other customs. Maybe, yeah, maybe. All right, guys, thanks for coming out. Have yourselves an awesome day, and happy tractor hunting.